You love your cat, but do you actually know what they wish you'd do for them? Most owners assume food, shelter, and cuddles are the full story. But there are a few things your cat is quietly craving every single day, the kinds of things that plug straight into their deepest instincts. And the reason most owners miss them isn't neglect. It's that nobody ever told you these needs existed in the first place. Let's start with the one that changes everything. 1. Let them hunt for their food. Ever wonder why your cat gets random zoomies, swats stuff off counters, or turns your ankles into prey at 300 a.m.? People call it crazy cat energy. But your cat isn't defective. They're bored, and honestly, we created the boredom. Here's the part nobody explains in the wild. Cats can spend up to 80% of their waking time hunting for meals, not eating them. Stalking, tracking, chasing, pouncing, missing, resetting, trying again. Every meal is a mission, a puzzle, a process. Now look at what we do: pour kibble in a bowl, set it down, and walk away. That's it. We took an animal built to solve problems and handed them the answer every single day. And then we act surprised when the unused drive comes out as restlessness, destruction, and late-night ambushes. A study in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found cats, given puzzle feeders, showed meaningful reductions in stress behaviors and even dropped excess weight. Not because the food magically changed, but because their brain finally had something to do. So try this: hide small portions around the house, rotate puzzle feeders, make feeding take effort, even if it's mild. You're not being mean. You're giving them back the one thing that makes them feel alive, and once you do, the chaos often softens. Fewer ankle attacks, less random rage sprinting, a cat that suddenly seems more settled. And by the way, food isn't the only area your home is accidentally getting wrong. Later, I'll show you one built in-home mistake that quietly makes many cats feel like they don't belong. And the worst part is you're probably staring right at it. 2. Provide running water. Have you noticed your cat ignoring their bowl? But the moment you turn on a faucet, they appear out of nowhere. Owners think it's a quirky preference, but it's not a quirk. It's survival programming. Cats are naturally suspicious of still water, and it makes sense in nature. Stagnant water is more likely to be contaminated, while moving water is typically fresher, better oxygenated, and less likely to harbor the same bacterial load. On top of that, cats are tuned to motion and sound, so trickling water is easier to locate and more interesting than a silent dish in the corner. Here's what most people also don't realize: cats aren't hardwired to be enthusiastic drinkers. Because wild cats get a lot of hydration from prey, so they never develop the same thirst drive dogs have. That means indoor cats can underdrink without obvious signs, which is exactly why making water more appealing matters so much. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine reported that cats, given a flowing water source, drank significantly more over the day. And that matters because cats are already prone to urinary problems and kidney disease, and chronic mild dehydration is one of the biggest silent contributors. Your cat could be drinking less than they should every day, and you'd never know until you're at the vet dealing with a crisis. So get a fountain. Doesn't need to be expensive. Even a basic one can change the game. But don't skip the part people forget: keep it clean and refresh it often, because a dirty fountain defeats the whole purpose, and if the water smells off or feels stale, your cat will treat it like the bowl they already ignore. Keep it fresh, keep it moving, and you'll often see them drink more on their own. That small change can genuinely add healthy years, and that's not exaggeration. And if any of this is making you rethink the way you've been doing things, hit like and subscribe so this reaches more cat owners who deserve to know what their cat has been quietly wishing for all along. 3. Keep the litter box truly clean. One of the most common reasons cats stop using the litter box isn't bad behavior or spite. It's that the box is dirty, and what humans consider clean enough often isn't even close to what a cat can tolerate. Here's why: cats have roughly 200 million scent receptors, while humans have about 5 million. So that box you think is fine is screaming information to them. Every old odor, every trace, every buildup. And because cats are wired to bury scent to avoid attracting danger, a dirty box doesn't just feel unpleasant, it can feel unsafe. Research in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found cats show a clear preference for freshly scooped litter and will actively avoid boxes that haven't been cleaned, even if it means holding it or choosing somewhere else entirely. That isn't your cat being difficult. It's your cat refusing to use a bathroom that, to them, is unacceptable. And it's more than daily scooping. Many vets recommend fully dumping the litter and washing the box at least weekly. not just topping it off forever, because urine ammonia buildup can irritate the respiratory tract over time, especially in covered boxes where the smell has nowhere to go. Another mistake owners underestimate. The rule is 1 litter box per cat plus 1 extra, so 2 cats means 3 boxes. It sounds excessive until you understand cats can be territorial about bathroom space, and forced sharing can create stress you won't notice until it turns into marking, avoidance, aggression, or accidents. Keep it clean, keep it fresh, and give them enough options to feel secure, and you'll solve problems some owners spend months trying to decode. 4. Scent sharing on purpose. Ever notice your cat sleeping on your clothes, pressing into your bag, or curling up on something you just were? People assume it's because it's soft, but the real reason is deeper. Your cat is seeking your scent, and scent is one of their strongest bonding languages. Cats don't experience the world like we do. Smell is identity, safety, and belonging. When your cat rubs their face on you, they aren't just being cute, they're marking you as part of their safe territory. And when they find something that smells like you, it works in reverse. It makes them feel like you're present even when you're not. A study in applied animal behavior science found exposure to familiar scents can reduce stress and increase relaxed behaviors, even in new environments. Your smell isn't background to them. It's emotional security. So here's a simple thing almost nobody does, but should. Leave a worn shirt or pillowcase you've slept on near your cat's favorite resting spot, and don't wash it immediately. The whole point is that it smells like you. If you're gone for work, that scent can be a comfort anchor, and for cats with separation anxiety, it can change how they handle your absence. Also be careful with over-cleaning. Constantly washing their bedding or spraying strong air fresheners near their spots doesn't feel like tittying to them. It feels like you erased the scent map they built to feel safe, like someone rearranged their entire world overnight. 5. Sit on the floor with them. How often do you actually get down at your cat's level? Not a quick bend to pet them, but truly sit there with them? Most owners rarely do, and they don't realize how much it shapes how safe their cat feels around them. From your cat's perspective, you're a massive creature who towers, moves quickly, makes loud noises, and usually approaches from above. Even for a loving cat, that can be intimidating. Size alone creates a barrier unless you intentionally reduce it. When you sit on the floor, everything shifts. You become smaller, slower, less threatening, and your cat doesn't have to crane their neck to read you. They can approach on their terms without feeling cornered, and that's when you'll see something many owners almost never experience. Your cat coming to you not because you called, not because you have food, but because you finally feel safe to be near. Animal behavior research consistently shows posture and height strongly affect perceived threat, and by simply lowering yourself you remove a stress signal your cat may be processing every single day. Try it tonight. Sit on the floor for 10 minutes. Don't call them. Don't reach. Just be present, and you might be shocked how quickly they wander over, sit beside you, headbutt you, or climb into your lap. 6. Give them vertical territory. Remember earlier when I said there's one mistake built into almost every home that quietly makes cats feel like they don't truly belong? This is it. Look around your house. Everything is designed for humans. Human height, human flow, human furniture. But your cat doesn't live in a purely horizontal world. They live in a vertical one. And when they have nowhere to climb, nowhere to perch, nowhere to look down from, they lose something owners rarely think about: control. In the wild, height equals safety. A cat that can get up high can see what's coming, observe without being approached, and escape without getting trapped. It's not a preference, it's a survival need. When your home offers zero vertical space, your cat is stuck on the ground exposed, with nowhere to go when they feel overwhelmed. A study in applied animal behavior science found cats with access to vertical spaces show lower stress, fewer hiding behaviors, and more willingness to interact with people. That's not a tiny improvement, it's a completely different cat. And you don't need to spend a fortune: a tall cat tree near a window, a couple wall shelves, even clearing the top of a sturdy bookcase so they can perch is enough. You're giving them a space that's theirs, above everything, where they can finally feel in control of their environment. Most people set up a home and never once consider what their cat needs from the layout, but the moment you give them that height, you'll notice a shift you can't unsee: a calmer, braver, more present cat, one that finally feels like they belong.